Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Mornings with Loretta. And let me tell you, and of course, I'm excited, but I have learned something new and I had no clue. It is a first on our show, but I want you to write this down NTM. You're going to want to know about it. And I have Amy Leitman. She's the president of NTM Info and Research. Hi, Amy. Welcome to Mornings with Loretta.
Hi, Loretta. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for doing this research and creating this awareness because I'm sure if I didn't know, and I know there's millions of people that don't know, but I want to ask my audience this, that you all know that tens of thousands of Americans are living with a hidden lung infection that mimics tuberculosis. So you're saying, well, I have tuberculosis. They diagnosed you, you're not getting better, and it's just a downhill thing. But there is this thing called mycobacteria, and Amy's going to tell me the correct thing. It's a growing health threat that affects our lung health, and there's a lot of that going around. I don't know if it's the exact thing, Amy, but can you tell us why is NTM lung disease and what it is, and why is it important for people to know and get more information?
Absolutely. So NTM stands for Nontuberculous Mycobacteria. This is a group of bacteria that are environmental. So they're found in the soil, they're found in the water, they're in our potable water supply too, unfortunately. They're just kind of everywhere. We're surrounded by them. Most people don't get sick, but there are some people who do. Currently, there are over 200,000 cases in the United States, and that's growing 8% a year. And there are a number of things that can make somebody susceptible to it, but a lot of it comes down to lung damage. And there are any number of reasons for that. But a lot of times somebody has something called bronchiectasis, which is this underlying lung scarring. It makes it harder to clear out your lungs, and it sort of creates this environment where these bacteria can grow. And it's not hard to diagnose, but it's underdiagnosed and it's misdiagnosed a lot. It's often mistaken for other things like asthma or pneumonia, and it gets missed too much, and so it takes longer to diagnose. And we have a saying that time is tissue. So the longer it takes to diagnose it properly and treat it properly, the more damage is done to the lungs. So that's why we're trying to raise awareness everywhere.
Oh my goodness. I have at least two or three people in my personal life that is dealing with something similar to this. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not trying to diagnose them, but it is so similar to what you're saying. One particular person was in the hospital for about 6 days. They're trying to figure out why there's a spot on his lung, but all his other stuff looks good, right? He's not sick. He's not like taking breathing treatments or oxygen, but they did the bronchial thing where they go down and they get a piece of it or whatever. And they were saying it was something to how birds have these diseases and you could breathe it in and what's that called? But anyway, but this sounds
Is it
so,
Mycobacterium avium complex?
yeah, it was some kind
That
of bacteria or infection. Oh my goodness, what do they call it? But anyway, let's keep moving because you need to just do a tour to these hospitals and talk to these doctors because they have called in specialists. And this is the
Is this on
second.
the right Wi-Fi?
But okay, so the next question is how can
Wow.
individuals learn
I don't
more
want to
about
leave the meeting, but
NTM
it did, didn't it? Let's find
and
out. I
protect their
checked it
lung
this
health? I
morning.
hear some feedback
Let's see.
in the background.
so
Yep, that's the correct one.
they can learn more about it by going to worldntmday.org.
Here.
So that website has all of our awareness materials on it. It has information about the 4 webinars we'll be holding throughout the month of August. It has information about our support group network throughout the country. And it also has links to our main website, which has a lot of information, including about the various species. There are over 200 species of NTM, including something called Mycobacterium avium complex, or MAC. And a lot of times people are told, oh, well, you have MAC. And they're not told that MAC is NTM. So, if you have MAC, you have NTM. And it's important to know what species you have because the treatment protocols are a little different. But you can learn all of that and more. You can visit one website, worldntmday.org, and that will give you all the information and all the links you need to help us raise awareness and also to raise awareness for yourself and to find out more about what kinds of symptoms you should look for and when you should start asking questions about what's going on with your lungs and how you can help yourself.
No, I'm just sitting there.
Okay,
And
I'm
check
hearing
out.
studio sound here. Can you? And it's I can't hear you. So is there an age group? Because I know one of your parents, I guess, had it, or somebody close to you was diagnosed, and so you went on this mission to help spread awareness and education. And thank you for that, because I'm going to do more research myself so I can help these 3 people that I know. So why is understanding NTM crucial in today's health landscape? Because with COVID, we contribute everything to COVID, and so I don't think people are looking deeper past COVID. And this sounds like this was going on way before COVID ever hit us.
Yes, it has been going on for a long time. So with COVID, it's a viral infection, but COVID can cause underlying lung damage, and anybody can have lung damage at any age. So really, while the perception of this disease is that it affects mostly older women, and that has been a demographic that has skewed, but what we're finding more and more is that it's not just older people, it's younger people, it's all races, all ethnicities. And there are also genetic diseases that can contribute to it, cystic fibrosis being one of them. My late stepmom actually had this disease. She actually had it twice. She had she had MAC in her 20s, and they cleared that infection. And in her 40s, she was
I know.
And that is the one she battled for the rest of her life. But she was young when she started, and actually when she was 60 years old, she was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis, which is something else that's happening more and more. They're learning more about these genetic diseases, and they're able to find them and figure out what's going on in these patients. So it's very important to, recognize these symptoms. If you're having, more than 2 lower respiratory infections per year, you should ask your doctor what's going on. Can we do a CT scan? If you're having, night sweats, if you're fatigued, if you're coughing a lot, if you're short of breath, if you're having pain around your lung area, if you're losing weight, if those things are happening, you need to see a doctor. If it's affecting your lungs, you definitely want to get to a pulmonologist and have them look at it. So you can start figuring out as soon as possible what's going on.
Oh my goodness, you're going to have to come on this again, because I have so many questions. I know you have to go and I have to go, but it's
so to come back anytime.
I need you to come back real soon, and I'm going to talk to the powers that be so we can make this happen, because I have done countless shows on pulmonary hypertension. I have a dear friend. Well, she wasn't my friend. We got this going, but that is one of the most underdiagnosed respiratory things too. And you know that as well, because you mentioned it. And I want to be able to give people some tools so they know how to start this conversation with their primary care physician. So, because not all doctors know about this, right? They specialize here, and there's so much going on. And like I said, the pandemic and COVID just swept the whole entire world. So people are looking at lung disease and everything else differently, of course. But Amy, I love your research. I love your education. But one more question: how can we support the efforts of NTM and get involved in World NTM Day? And when is that?
Sure. World NTM Awareness Day is August 4th. We love to raise awareness year round, but on August 4th, we're asking everybody to raise their voices and make it really loud. If you go to worldntmday.org, you will see all of our social media posts that you can also use and post on your social media. We have those 4 webinars you can sign up for. They're free. They're taking place throughout the month of August with leading experts holding them. And there's links to all kinds of information from that website, information to our main website about our support group network, and all of our previous webinars have been archived. You can learn a lot just from that one site. So visit worldntmday.org.
All right, I'll make sure we put that in the comments online and also when this airs. Amy, thank you so much for being my guest, and a big kudos to you, and a deeply debt that I can't even pay for you doing this research and having this awareness and education for us, because we have to look at it all so that people can start feeling better and live their quality of life that they deserve, and not to feel like something's wrong all the time. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for being our guest.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye. So Amy has to go, and I am moving fast as well, but she is a trusted voice for patients and a key figure in the fight against NTM. Her leadership at NTM, it has helped to increase research, patient support, and education, making her an invaluable resource for understanding this disease. So like I said, this is new to me. I've done a lot of research, and it looks like I know 3 people at least that I want them to ask their doctor about this to make sure that they're getting the help that they need so they can have a better quality of life. Anyway, y'all, I got another segment coming up, but I got to run in between those segments, but we'll be back shortly. And still, think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way. And guess what? I'll see you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.